At this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Clerk of the Board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker,
Present.
Commissioner Dellisfort,
Present.
Commissioner Granados.
Here.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Here.
Commissioner Mirabella,
Present.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Here.
Commissioner Williams,
Here.
Vice Chairman Bodek,
Here.
and Chairwoman Leon. Chairwoman Leon for the vote as far as
Here.
roll call. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm here.
Let the record reflect you have 9 commissioners present for this evening's regular meeting.
Okay. Please, Clerk of the Board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag now.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the Board, can you please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of the New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2025, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstance, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2025 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2025 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. At this time, I will ask Council Bergen to speak.
Thank you, Chair. Based upon the number of people appearing tonight to address the board, to ensure everyone who wishes has an opportunity to speak, the amount of time each speaker will be allowed during tonight's meeting will be 3 minutes. As always, please note the 1-minute warning sign, and please end your remarks once the red sign indicating your time is over is held up, and there'll be a gentleman sitting right there at the end of that table. Second, to maintain decorum in the meeting and to allow all speakers to be heard by the board. No telephone use is allowed during the meeting, and any in-person conversations should be taken out into the hallway so as not to disturb other members of the public or the board. Also, please do not call out from the audience or make any comments other than during your own speaking time. Once your time is up, there is no additional time allowed. During your remarks, please refrain from profanity or vulgar comments and do not make any personal comments or attacks. Anyone violating these rules may have their speaking time ended. Further violation of these rules or any action that disrupts the meeting or interferes with the board's ability to conduct its business are grounds for removal from the meeting. To avoid safety issues and assist in the speaking process, as we've done in the past, we've handed out numbers to those who want to speak. If you want to speak and you have not received a number, please step outside and get a number at this time. The numbers will be called in groups of 5, so then please line up behind the microphone. Do not block any of the other aisles or so as not to interfere with anyone else seeing what is going on during the meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. At this time, may I have a motion to approve the communications?
So moved.
May I have a second? Second. Okay, moved by Commissioner Kowalski and seconded by Commissioner Mirabella. Clerk of the Board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker,
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisfort,
Aye.
Commissioner Granados,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella, Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek,
Aye.
and Chairwoman Leon.
Aye.
Let the record reflect you have 9 votes in the affirmative on the adoption of the communications.
May I have a motion to approve the September minutes?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Vice Chairman Joseph Bodek, and seconded by Commissioner Baker. Clerk of the Board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker,
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisford,
Abstain from agenda setting and regular meeting, not present.
Commissioner Granados,
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski,
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella,
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad,
Abstain from both the agenda setting and regular meeting on September 18th.
Commissioner Williams,
Idle.
Vice Chairman Bodek,
Aye.
and Chairwoman Leone.
Aye.
Let the record reflect you have 7 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions on both sets of minutes.
Thank you. Tonight, we also have one ordinance for introduction. Clerk of the Board, can you please read the ordinance being introduced by title?
Certainly, Chair. An ordinance to amend the laws of Union County Administrative Code and Policies and General Legislation by amending Part 2, Policies and General Legislation, Chapter 115, Safety Code, Article 1, General Provisions, and Article 4, Bicycles, Scooters, Recreational Vehicles, and Snowmobiles. And that is for ordinance number 861-2025.
I would like to ask Policy Chair Vice Chairman Bodek to move ordinance 861-2025 for first reading.
I move ordinance number 861-2025 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law. The public hearing and final reading will be held on November 13th, 2025.
I'll second that, Chairman.
I'm sorry, that date is actually December 4th, 2025.
I stand corrected.
December 18th is the hearing on that.
Oh,
December 18th.
yes, December 18th.
I stand corrected. December 18th, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Vice Chair Bodek and seconded by Commissioner Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker,
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisford,
Aye.
Commissioner Granados.
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella.
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek
Aye.
and Chairwoman Leone.
Aye.
Let the record reflect you have 9 votes in the affirmative on ordinance number 861-2025.
Thank you. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose of commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption and/or any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record, and if speaking on a resolution on the agenda, please note the resolution number to which you are referring and adhere to the 3-minute time limit.
At this time, if there's anyone that received a number between 1 and 5, you can approach the podium.
Are we starting? Great. Hi, my name is Anthony Giordano. I reside in Union. And just to catch people up, in case they weren't here last time, at the last commissioners' meeting, someone from the public got up and said that Commissioner Williams said on the day that Charlie Kirk was murdered in front of his family and on TV, that he was a racist and a POS. And I'm here not because of what you said, but because of what the rest of you did. When the public session was over and you got to speak, 4 of you said, she's a lovely person. And I guess 3 of you, one said 100% I agree with her. Now, I know you weren't speaking about the actual thing she said. I'm not saying that you said that, right? I'm just saying it was unusual to me that someone would say that. And then 3 people, I think, said nothing. I don't know why they said nothing. I would have thought that was something to say. Now, when Ms. Williams spoke, she said, and I don't have a copy of the transcript, of course, I can only speak off the top of my head for what I remember, in a kind of flippant way, well, there are a lot of memes out there, I don't know what it was, and POS could mean point of service. Now, I'm sorry, that's a definite mocking of the people in the audience to think that they would believe that at that time, POS would mean point of service. If I called you a bunch of POSs now, you wouldn't think I meant person of substance, would you? No, I don't think so. And let's get something on the table now. I'm not talking about First Amendment's right. Everybody has the right to the First Amendment here. Nobody's questioning that. That is not on the table, right? The Constitution, it put that first for a very good reason. What we're saying here is, was that the right thing to say? There's a right and a wrong thing. Now, you may say, I asked you, and I sent all of you letters, so you all know me, right? So I sent you letters. Now, you may say when you get to answer me that you don't have to answer whether it was right or wrong, whether it was moral or not moral. You only have to answer legal or not legal. But that's not fair, because there are a lot of things that are legal but are not morally correct. You all know that, I have 1 minute. So let's not talk about legal or illegal. Let's take the First Amendment off the table. I agree, everybody has the right to say whatever they want, how vile it might be. Let's even take off the table the hate speech, which some of the people now say is illegal also. Let's take that off the table also. And to make things even easier for you, let's take the commissioner off the table. I don't care whether you think she should have said it as a sitting commissioner. Say that somebody who was just murdered in front of his family is a piece of you know what, and you all thought it in your head, even though I didn't say it. Let's just say, do you think anyone should have said such a thing? So at the answer time, when you get to talk back to me, I would like each of you, because each of you represents me, you all are at large, because you have to answer, because you handle the budget. There are a lot of moral things you could do with the budget that are legal but not morally right? So I want you to answer me. Was it right? Was it wrong? Legally or illegally?
My name is Irfan Kawaja. I live in Princeton. As some of you may remember, I spoke here previously on the matter of the Union County Jail. Those of us involved in that effort, including Resistencia en Acción, were pleased to see the Commission conclude this past July that detention-related uses of the jail were off the table because they wouldn't align with Union County values. The Commission's statement was a welcome step toward avoiding a negative outcome, and I'd now like to invite the Commission, I believe this is on the agenda as 2025-796, invite the Commission to take the next step, one that produces a positive outcome. That is, I'd like to join others here in inviting the Commission to pass a resolution in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act, as has been done in Essex and Hudson counties, as well as about 20 municipalities across the state from Paterson to Atlantic City. The Immigrant Trust Act is an attempt to give legislative form to the Immigrant Trust Directive, first crafted by Attorney General Gurbir Grewal in 2018. The act forcefully asserts the state's commitment to 10th Amendment federalism, insisting that states and localities be freed of the unwanted and unnecessary burden of enforcing federal immigration law. The ITD has successfully withstood several court challenges and is widely considered to be legally bulletproof. Whatever disagreements there may be about the ITA, we simply must make some version of the directive law either as strong or stronger before it's unilaterally repealed, as it's in danger of being. The ITA is our best and only bet. Now, I understand that county commissions have no direct role to play in the passage of state-level legislation, but they can influence legislation by indicating the degree of support for it. New Jersey's plastic bag ban was passed largely through the pressure exerted by municipal and county resolutions. The U.S. Constitution was itself passed after ratification by small state conventions. So the underlying principle is that in all of these cases, that sovereignty rests with the people and can legitimately be expressed at the level closest to them. So we're running out of time. I'm running out of time. This effort may fail, but we will never forgive ourselves for doing less than was in our power. So please act and accept my thanks if you do act before time runs out. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commissioner Board, various Golden Nuggets, and of course, our point of service, Rebecca Williams. This is Bruce Patterson Garwood. This week is the 2-year anniversary of the Ashbrook Swamp environmental disaster caused by Union County government sneaking major construction equipment into the swamp to reroute stream beds and vegetation. Huge ruts in the swamp were caused, vegetation destroyed, undue flooding, some hazardous materials spilled. 2 major pieces of equipment were unfortunately buried into the mud, one up to the operator's cabin of the county's brand new $300,000 excavator. PSE&G sued for trespassing on the right-of-way. The DEP sued, and was assessing penalties due to no permitting. Fletcher Creamer had an emergency appropriation to install a timber roadway to recover the buried equipment. You were later forced to go the normal route with design drawings for the work to be done and with proper permitting. This disaster was never accounted to the public. In my opinion, the total cost of this disaster and remediation was probably around $10 million. Questions arise. Did this proper work solve the nearby golf course flooding problem? Who has been tracking the total cost of the disaster, remediation, and construction costs, and what's the actual cost? Was there any accountability within the county for this disaster, or did you guys just let the taxpayers cover the approximately $10 million in cost and then sweep it all under the rug? The public needs transparency and accountability since we paid for all of it. To the Resos, Reso 780, is the county paying HC Equities, who owns the 1143 East Jersey Street Allbender building, nearly $12 million. This was certainly a snafu, but not on our part. $500,000 in lawsuits going back to 2013, evacuation of county personnel, internal building deterioration. The question is, what is this huge $12 million payment for? The public needs to know where all this money is coming from. Is it escrow? Reso 814 is increasing Wiener Law Firm's contract from $50,000 to $170,000. Unheard of 200% increase for being a personnel counsel. Why such a huge increase? Note the firm gave over $16,000 to yours and your cronies' election campaigns the last 4 years. Apparently, a lot of the donations going to Commissioner Mirabella's election campaign, possibly guaranteeing a vote yes there for the increase. And former Lesniak, Senator Lesniak, was a previous Union County political boss and was a partner of the firm. And I'll cut it there, although I do have plenty more to talk about as usual, but since it's only 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Request some answers.
At this time, anyone received a card for the numbers 6 through 10, please approach the podium.
Hi, let's see, can you hear me okay? Hi, Catherine Hunt, I'm from Monroe. And I just wanted to ask you all please to join and help us pass the Immigrant Trust Act by passing a resolution in favor. Have you ever wondered what you would be doing during the Holocaust? Well, if you'd like to know, just look at what we're doing now. Pastor Niemöller started out supporting Hitler, but eventually he saw he was mistaken, and he wrote the poem which begins, "First they came for the," and the first one was communists, but I wasn't a communist, so I didn't speak up for them. And several other groups followed, and finally they came for me, but nobody was left to speak for me. Today in the U.S., the path to authoritarianism is being built on the backs of immigrants, faster than many of us anticipated. The fascists have started with immigrants, but they will not end with immigrants unless all of us step up and speak out right away. Eventually and pretty soon, they are going to come for all of us, which is why we need to step up right now and wrap our arms around our immigrant brothers and sisters, because they're the ones who are feeling the pain right now, but eventually that pain is going to manifest and be directed towards the rest of us. It will take we the people to defend our democracy, and that's why we need to hope that you'll join the fight. Well, what more can we and you do? I'm hoping that you will pass a resolution in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act. As you see, many of us here have come to ask for that, and we hope that that's what you will do. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, sir, before you begin. Excuse me, if you need to have a conversation, I need you to take it outside. It's disturbing to other people, the back and forth in the conversation. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Adam McGovern, and I work at Wind of the Spirit Immigrant Resource Center, based at 225 Watchung Avenue in the proud sanctuary city of Plainfield. Plainfield, as you probably know, was one of the earliest municipalities to pass a resolution in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act. And they really set something in motion, which we hope that you all will, bring to further fruition today. The finish line we need to reach, of course, is the state legislature passing this bill, and it very much makes a difference. What you all do. I'm happy to be here to thank you for something as well. The decision, to not open a new ICE jail in Union County was pivotal and saved countless lives, and has averted much misery. Doing the right thing can be lonely, but here you see it's popular. Here in Union County, we have audiences full of people here to encourage you to do this, and I really applaud Commissioner Granados for introducing this, Chairwoman Leon for joining in, and I hope that everyone will align with this. We have got almost 20 municipalities, as somebody pointed out, and we really need to stand up to what's happening. There were some good quotes from Montclair, who were discussing their resolution just the other night, and one of the commissioners said, the way you deal with a bully is not, is not conceding to the bully; it's standing up to him. People who come in masks and armor to, throw 80-year-old congresswomen to the ground, to, smash open windows of moms and their kids. That person, as fearsome as they be, is afraid of you. They're coming, in full armor and, with the full array of an illegitimate government, because they're afraid of what ordinary people just standing together can accomplish. We've seen this as people like the Resistencia folks to my left have done, chasing ICE out of neighborhoods, reminding them how unwanted they are. But we're here to do something positive. The Immigrant Trust Act will stand up to court challenges. We just saw laws just like it in Illinois be defended against Trump. So anything that's coming at us, it has already come at us. The question is, will we fight? I know what immigrants really are. They're members of my family. They're the hardest working people. They're the people who show me what it is like, what it means to be an American. And by passing this resolution tonight, you will show who you are and who we really are. Thanks.
Hello. My name is Troy Chartier Vignapiano. I come from South River, which is Middlesex County, so it's not Union County, of course, but I do hope that my concerns as a resident of New Jersey my entire life will be sufficient. First thing I want to point out, I believe a couple minutes ago, the gentleman right here, I think there is a misunderstanding. This wasn't a private conversation that was being had on this side of the room. It was translation for people who may not be proficient at English yet. So I was asked to clarify that, and I feel it's important to do so. Now I'm going to go on to my own statement. So, I'm following the trend of talking about the Immigrant Trust Act. I'm going to try to keep it succinct with two major areas, right? That being some of the more devastating side effects of what we're seeing as a result of ICE harassment of our local population, and also what we can do about that, right? We're seeing a lot of scary things happening in our state and in our country right now, and I feel like fear is a very normal response to those actions, right? And from fear is this feeling of helplessness, that we can't do anything about it. And once you convince yourself that you're powerless, you're not going to go out and put yourself out there to actually make a difference, right? But that's not the case, and I do just want to highlight that. But first, I do want to focus on the negatives that are happening, because I feel they are absolutely critical. So obviously, we know that people are being unlawfully taken out of our homes, our neighborhoods, our streets, and are being sent to detention centers and prisons that aren't even in the local state, right? And I say unlawfully very confidently because we have seen multiple times judges calling for the immediate release of people who are being retained without a good reason to be retained at all, right? But it's not just people being kidnapped that's the issue here. It's also the families of these people who are being detained and sent God knows where, right? They're also victims in this. I can recall a specific example of a family who their relative had spinal surgery and was prescribed pain medication for the spinal surgery, right? They asked the prison to give them the necessary medication that they needed. The prison camp, or the prison, right, ignored this concern and silently sent the person that was being detained to another detention center far away, out of the state. That is deliberate. That is done on purpose. The cruelty is part of their strategy here. And another case are children. I have heard of counts of children's grades going down because that is how stressed out they are about what's happening. They're terrified to go to schools, either because they're scared of being taken themselves or they're scared of coming home and finding that their family is gone without any reason being given, right? We're terrifying our children is the point I'm trying to make here. So those are two I'd say very potent examples of the side effects of what's happening now, right? The other side of the...
Thank you. Please end your remarks.
No, okay. I just wish, this bill's been sitting for a long time. I just hope that Union County can pass a resolution because the pressure is needed and it's critical. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Stuart Seidenstricker, and I'm a member of Wind the Spirit, an organization that has an office at 225 Watchung Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. I heard very good things about this room and about conversations here. This is the first time I come here, but Wind the Spirit has been represented here, as you know. And I come here to thank you for passing the resolution. I'm not asking because I know you're going to pass it, to support the Immigrant Trust Act, 796 specifically. And I can tell you that I'm a Brazilian. I'm an immigrant. I arrived in the country about 39 years ago. And for the first years in the country, I was undocumented. It was a different situation. The country was under different leadership from Washington. But I was still scared about getting stopped by the police. And I can just imagine what people are feeling today if they don't handle the language that I did then, and if they didn't look like I do. So I really think it's imperative to bring the state of New Jersey to support the amount of immigrants that we have here and consider that through this push to Trenton to do the right thing. Appreciate the work that you're going to do tonight approving that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tony Faber. I'm from Scotch Plains, and I'm also here to speak out in support of the resolution for the Immigrant Trust Act. As many people have already said, this requires extraordinary actions at this time because ICE is not behaving legally. Some examples have already been given. There's many more we could give. A federal judge in Illinois ordered that ICE not use tear gas. They've been documented to have done so 27 times since that order was given, gassing local police and reporters. There are over 170 incidents of American citizens being arrested or detained indefinitely at protests or raids. None of these American citizens was actually ever charged. Just a couple days ago, we saw the raid in New York City where American citizens were held and no information in the last 48 hours since the raid has come out about what happened to those American citizens in the raid down on Canal Street. There are numerous examples of ICE totally ignoring the Fourth Amendment or tricking or misidentifying themselves to gain access to businesses and homes, or just ripping people out of vehicles, as the case may be. All these are reasons why we must act. It appears that the court system, the federal court system, is not going to take the necessary action, so we must do so. As bad as things are now, we can only imagine how much worse it would be if local police were required to cooperate with ICE and other immigration officials, which may be the case when this directive expires after the election. So I ask that you not only pass this resolution, but if possible, speak to the leaders in the Assembly and Senate and do your best to urge them to move this legislation forward. Thank you very much.
I'm from Robbinsville, New Jersey, and I'm here asking that you pass the resolution to support the Immigrant Trust Act. That we all have limited power, but with what power we have, can we use that to support and protect our community?
Anyone who received a number up to 15, please feel free to approach the podium.
Good evening. My name is Asma El Houni, and I am an organizer with Resistencia en Acción. I want to start off to thank you for removing bids to the building becoming a cage for human beings. We spoke about that at one time. As an organizer with Resistencia, I lead its rapid response team in Mercer County. Our team patrols every day, and we respond to raids several times a week in Mercer County. We are proud to say we have, on numerous occasions, successfully stopped ICE's illegal actions by exercising our constitutional rights to observe, to document, and to let people know their... If I can have 5 seconds. We've successfully stopped ICE's illegal actions by exercising our constitutional rights to observe, to document, and to let people know their rights. We make it known that ICE is in their community when they come. We also know firsthand why local law enforcement should not be collaborating with ICE. I have been arrested twice by local law enforcement for exercising my constitutional rights. The first time was at Delaney Hall, protesting ICE, where I was handpicked along with one other leader, Brown leader as well, because we were thought to have organized the protest. The second time was for telling a person their legal rights when ICE was trying to get them out of their homes without a judicial warrant. This is why we need very clear guidelines to ensure our police are not engaging in this collaboration. We have seen more times than we can count families ripped from their loved ones, families we then have to tend to. This reveals the true gut-wrenching cost of ICE. Just this morning, a mother contacted us that while the father of her children took the kids to the school bus, neighbors informed her that he was abducted by ICE. I stand before you today and I ask you to feel the weight of that. Some of you in this commission are parents yourselves. I ask you, what makes us as parents more deserving of hugging our kids or tucking them into bed at night than he is? I have seen how emboldened ICE becomes when local police are entangled with with the pain that these families face. You have the power to make it very clear where Union County stands. You can choose to be the next county to pass the Immigrant Trust Act resolution, joining 2 other counties. We decided to come here today because the power to protect every single immigrant family in New Jersey lies in the state legislature. And Senator Scutari, your senator, the Senate President, holds the unique power to put the statewide Immigrant
Thank you.
Trust
Please-
Act bill on the calendar.
Please wrap
by
up your
pass-
remarks. Thank you.
Implore the senator to please move this along the legislature. Thank you so much.
Good evening, esteemed commissioners. I'm Maral Saheb Jami. I am an educator and a researcher at Princeton University. I stand before you also as a board member of Resistencia en Acción, which serves Mercer County. We fight for immigrant justice. We have a rapid response team that my colleague ahead of me told you about, where we respond to calls of suspicious vehicles, to detentions, ICE raids every day. And we have a team of volunteers that tirelessly work on the streets from 5:30 in the morning to make sure that our community is safe. To echo a little bit of what was just said, this morning in Mercer County, a father took his child to the bus and was detained. Could you please? Sorry, they were making very inappropriate comments
Excuse me,
as I
Mr.
was standing
Santos,
there. Thank
can
you.
Please, there's no speaking.
Thank you.
I can see you talking,
yeah.
actually. I
He
didn't
did.
say you did, but you're supposed to be quiet while somebody else is speaking. You weren't whispering, you were bothering somebody. Please be quiet, or we'll have to have you removed again.
Thank you. This happened in front of an elementary school. He leaves behind his wife, his 7-month-old infant, and an elementary school-aged child. I share this story as just one example of the way that the barbaric and unlawful ICE raids shatter people's lives and leave behind dependents who could be wives, children's mothers. When a breadwinner is taken away, an entire family is impacted. And these are lives that are turned upside down. People come desperately to offices like ours and other organizations throughout the state to seek some sort of recourse. So our rapid response team is nothing but a team of volunteers. I am appealing to you as esteemed commissioners who possess a lot more legal and political power than we do. We are a grassroots organization that's working and making these efforts to save these families. So I appeal to you to use the political, legal power and resources that are vested in you to protect our neighbors and support Resolution 2025-796. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Teal Block. I live down in South Jersey, but I work in Trenton for the Department of State within the New Jersey State Museum, and I'm a rapid responder for Resistencia. I'm speaking to you as a New Jerseyan. I'm very Jersey myself. I love this state, and I love its people. The biggest part of that is its immigrant community. It would not be the home that it is without its immigrant community. It's the only home I've ever known, and that's because it is the way it is. It's people. I'm here as well to ask you to pass the Immigrant Trust Act resolution. These are hard enough times to live in. We can all feel it. Let's please make it more comfortable for our most vulnerable. Immigrant communities shouldn't have to live in constant fear. Despite the fact that we're living in frightening times, they should know they're being protected. We can fight that fear. I think a big part of what Resistencia does is fighting that fear. If you haven't been on the ground during an ICE raid, the fear is palpable. It's really, honest to God, harrowing. And it's justified, unfortunately, because we're at times where we're seeing public officials standing by idly or cops helping. And it erodes public trust completely. How can you expect our immigrant communities to feel safe when cops are forming perimeters around ICE raids and they're stopping the people who are trying to help them? The Immigrant Trust Directive is supposed to help that, but the Immigrant Trust Act will, and we need you to be in support of it. I can't imagine being a parent in a time like this, having to explain to a young child that this isn't some boogeyman or monster that's out there, but real people who are allowed by governments to do this monstrous thing. I can't imagine being a child and witnessing such a monstrous thing. We can't allow it. I won't allow it. You shouldn't. The fear I've seen in adults alone has broken me, and what has fixed it has been seeing people show up for each other. Now, I live by the words, solo el pueblo, salva el pueblo. Only the people can save the people, because time and time again, I've seen community members stand up for each other in times when the government hasn't. But I want to believe that local governments can and will show up for the people. I want to be proven that. Prove to your immigrant community that you stand behind them. Please pass a resolution for the Immigrant Trust Act. Working within the New Jersey State Museum, I made a career out of New Jersey history, and I ask that you stand on the right side of that history. Not just now, but forever. Protect your immigrant community.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is Jordi Hernandez. I'm the Union County Co-Chair of the North New Jersey chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America and a proud member of CWA Local 1033. As we are entering into a very dark age in our country's history, I am deeply worried of how our immigrant communities are facing every single day by the wrath of ICE, a draconian, Gestapo-like organization run by the Trump regime who is destroying every single part of our community and ripping our families apart. And it's a shame what's been happening to all of our communities, now that many of them are being afraid of going out in the street to do what they need to do. And this not only affects us. Sorry, can someone fix the mic before you start? Oh, I'm sorry. I had a few more seconds. I'm sorry about that. As I'm about, what was I say? We are very concerned about the future of what's happening to our immigrant communities. We are concerned that even citizens like me, myself, born in this country or naturalized, are going to be targeted by ICE because they look Hispanic. Well, I give you the truth. It's happening every day. I even know a coworker, well, one of the workers from my union, who happens to be in one of the previous videos, Randy Kim, and she warned me that we're going to be targeted. Even whether we're critical of the Trump administration or not, whether we're Hispanic or not. And we're deeply worried that our rights are going to be deprived, whether we're immigrants, whether we come here legally or not. And it's so vital that we need this law to go into effect. We need the Immigrant Trust Act to protect our rights for immigrants and non-immigrants, to allow them to be safe, to ensure law enforcement should do the right thing constitutionally. And it's so vital that even citizens like me should be protected. If we do not have this law, we're not only going to be faced with the wrath of ICE by being tortured, but we're also potentially facing illegal deportations from a country we have a legal right to be here. It's time we do the right thing, and we encourage you to please support the Immigrant Trust Act. Do it not just for the immigrants behind me, but for myself and for the hundreds of people who are afraid to go out in the streets and do about their own lives. I appreciate your time, and please pass this law. Thank you.
So Carlos Santos, a Union County resident. So I grabbed the number tonight. I wasn't going to speak, but the 9 of you elected officials that represent this county have given that county manager too much power that he's pushing around and he thinks he's in charge of this board. You guys are the one that should be representing him. I promise you I'm the Union County chair, and I have nothing against any one of you, but I am going to work tirelessly to replace every one of you just to get rid of Ed Oatman, okay? What he just did with me and what he said to me last time at the meeting and tried to get me removed out of here is above this guy's pay grade, all right? So he doesn't even live in our county. You guys represent us. Somebody needs to take some action against that man.
Anybody that received a number up to 20, please feel free to approach the podium.
Good evening. May I start? Good evening. My name is Cara Murillo. I am a resident of Union. I was born and raised there, moved away and came back. I am very proud to say that because of the diversity of Union.
Excuse me.
Union's diversity has always shaped who I am. And I would very much like that for all of New Jersey residents. I am speaking in favor of Resolution 2025-796, supporting the Immigrant Trust Act resolution. I thank Commissioners Granados, Leon, and the rest of the board for putting this on the agenda tonight. It's been very refreshing to have you, Commissioner, listen to your constituents. That really has meant a lot. And I know you will all do the right thing. It's critical that we at the local level demonstrate leadership for all New Jerseyans, especially Union County residents, and show that Union County is committed to protecting all immigrants who seek public services such as healthcare, education, and filing police reports, particularly for domestic violence situations, without retribution. No one should have to live in fear of being detained, separated from their families, and deported because their immigration status was disclosed to ICE. I'm also an educator, and I firmly believe that all students should be protected in their schools at all times while they're learning. Every week, I volunteer at Delaney Hall, and I get to speak with the families who are impacted by the current ICE raids and abductions. Usually I hear the same thing, that they are taken from, either at their immigration check-in or that early in the morning on their way to work when no one else is around. Thanks. They're often very distraught. They're worried about their loved one's health, and they are not receiving the proper health care while they are detained in ICE facilities. So when they are released, if and when they are released, they will need to access appropriate resources to recover from the abuses done to them. Without retribution. Again, the ITA would prevent a lot of these horror stories. I didn't get to share all of them. I have many, unfortunately. And currently, the safety of all New Jerseyans is at risk given the upcoming gubernatorial election. One candidate is committed to dismantling sanctuary cities. The other one is neutral. So it is imperative that we all pass the ITA resolution to demonstrate that New Jersey and Union County is on the side of protecting our neighbors. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Union County Commissioners. I'm grateful to be able to testify, and I thank everyone who has spoken and will speak tonight about the Immigrant Trust Act. Many of us have been here before to speak about the abuses of ICE and GEO Group, which continue unrelenting at Delaney Hall and beyond. The umbrella organization Eyes on ICE and its affiliated groups and individuals are doing the best we can to provide physical comfort, basic necessities, information, emotional support to visiting families. Now we are seeing another emerging nightmare of this deportation agenda as the fathers are deported and disappeared and families are left behind with a minimal, if any, safety net. A few of us have been visiting a young woman with a newborn whose husband has been deported. She is here alone with little means to support herself and her children. Her bills are overdue: heat, rent, car insurance, water, and her husband is in hiding now in his native country. Sadly, her case is not unique. This amoral system is designed to utterly crush any and anyone in its way. It leaves all involved, volunteers, activists too, bereft of hope at times, and yes, full of rage that this is happening in our country. But we persist, as the families do, even in the face of so much trauma, and we ask you to persist with us. We need you to speak out. We need you to visit Delaney Hall. Thank you, Commissioner Granados. We need you to pass an ITA resolution, and we need to work together to make our opposition to this horror show patently clear. Please remember that GEO Group is a billion-dollar corporation which recently reported tremendous monetary gains that views detainees as profit-making commodities and families as objects to bully, as does Trump's private army, ICE. I recognize that Union County Commissioners do not have authority over GEO Group and ICE, but as a body, you do have the power to pass a resolution in favor of the Immigrant Trust Act. Passing this resolution tonight signals to Senate President Scutari that Union County, in his District 22, is doing all in its power to give the fullest protections for our neighbors, that we stand firm in providing peaceful and safe communities for all, and that as human beings, we must all care for one another amidst this cruel, lawless onslaught. Thank you.
Good evening. Timer starts now. My name is Brian. My grandfather started a business in Hillside in the 70s. I worked there in the 80s, and past decade I've done a lot of work in Elizabeth, working with youth and teaching music. So I'm here in support of the Immigrant Trust Act, and I'm going to try to move through a bunch of things in 3 minutes. So let's pan out a little bit. Earlier this year, I can't believe I'm saying this, in an official room with elected officials, community members, and police. But earlier this year, it was decided that not everybody gets due process. I think I was taught in high school that everybody gets due process, and that's what protects the innocent. So we have ICE on the streets wearing masks, often without a judicial or administrative warrant, disappearing people without due process. They were recently approved to racially profile by looking at skin color and accent. And this is all to get the worst of the worst. So when you have masked men not identifying themselves, it opens the door for imposters. And we know of over 24 cases, 2 of them in Philly. The Reddington Township municipality put this out several weeks ago. Beware of imposters posing as federal agents. It was a different scam, but there's people showing up in person pretending to be federal agents. So I want to shift to good policing. So good policing requires relations with the community and trust, right? Pretty simple. And even the appearance of corruption or cruelty or whatnot can really disturb that trust and make policing more difficult. And cops' plates are already full. So that's why there's this separation with immigration and policing, and I hope everybody here understands that and knows that well. So even the appearance can destroy that. So I mentioned the racially profiling. I heard from a woman today who works with third graders, and the third graders are comparing their skin tone to see who's going to be taken first. You know, the kids see and hear everything. So, and we are in America. So, you know, again, this is to get the worst of the worst. So they're offering money to police departments, and in there, I'll quote, "This is to get the worst of the worst, including murderers, gang members, rapists, terrorists, and pedophiles." They got a lot of nerve putting pedophiles in there. So I'm down to less than 1 minute. So I looked up. The other thing is lies. You need good faith actors, and policing with good faith is going to get good results. So let's just look. So far, year to date, as of yesterday, what I downloaded from the ICE website, 70% of arrests have no criminal record whatsoever.
Please end your remarks. Your time is up. Thank you.
Anyone who anyone who received a number up to 25, up to 25, please feel free to approach the podium. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to give me the chance to speak here. My name is Hera Amir, and I'm the Policy Associate with AAPI New Jersey. We are a statewide organization building the power of more than 1.1 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders across the state. Asian Americans are the fastest growing population in New Jersey, with tens of thousands of residents who are immigrants and who have loved ones who are immigrants, including in municipalities across Union County. I want to share a story with you about Jovi and Denmark. Jovi and Denmark were 2 CNA, certified nursing assistants, here on J1 visas, legally, working in Bayville, New Jersey. Unfortunately, they're working at a mental health institution where there was an incident and they were wrongfully arrested. Before they could even stand trial, ICE arrested them. And because of the horrific conditions in ICE jail and what they were being told, they decided to self-deport instead of giving a fair chance at a fair trial. These were 2 Filipino workers who are, working to provide health care to our residents here in New Jersey. So given that, we strongly support the resolution in support of the New Jersey legislature passing the Immigrant Trust Act. This act would ensure that our hard-earned state and local resources aren't going towards inhumane and cowardly acts of family separation, community targeting, and kidnappings that we are witnessing from the federal administration right now. And just 2 days ago, you probably heard this in the news, New York City saw militarized DHS forces descend on Chinatown, street vendors, dozens of agents in military fatigues and armored vehicles to arrest street vendors. This is after the Hyundai plant arrest of Korean workers in Georgia and warehouse raids in Edison. The overt show of force against the most vulnerable communities is meant to make us fear them, whatever our status may be and whatever positions we may hold. But Americans and our immigrant communities do not cower to tyranny. We prepare, we stand together, and we fight back. So thank you for putting this resolution up for a vote, and I strongly urge you to vote yes. Thank you.
Once again, if anyone received the number up to 25, please feel free to approach the podium. And I'll try up to 30, though I don't believe that. Oh, we got an individual like to speak. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Faranaz Shamim. I work with Resistencia as part of the rapid response team, which is why I have a vest on. So every day we patrol and we get ICE alerts in the community. A lot of people are extremely scared right now. There was a story that I want to share with you guys. There's a woman whose husband was just recently deported. She brought her 1-day-old baby, not even 24 hours old yet, to the detention center in Newark, New Jersey. It was raining that day. It was cold outside. Everybody told her don't do it, but her husband was due to be out of the country any moment. So it's moments like that that just remind me how fragile everything is and how easily it can be ripped apart from you. We hear stories all the time about families being ripped apart, losing a parent. All of a sudden now you don't have a breadwinner anymore in your home. It's the kind of trauma that I can't even imagine. I'm an immigrant myself, but I have the privilege of being a citizen. So it just breaks my heart to know that other people don't have that just because of something arbitrary, like the amount of time it took for their visa to get approved. My family waited 14 years. I mean, it's just such terrible climate right now that you don't even have a chance to do it the right way. Even when people try to have their appointments with ICE, you know, their check-ins, they're being stopped while trying to get things the right way, the way you're supposed to. So it just doesn't even make any sense, and it's beyond racist. Like, I hope every single one of you here knows that. I hope there's no doubt in your mind that everyone's deserving of a chance to get to live here, just to be able to work, survive, feed their families. It's very basic stuff. Majority of people don't have a criminal record to begin with. So I think that's extremely telling, and I really don't know what else to say. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. It's just really heartbreaking knowing so many families are ripped apart. This morning, there was a woman who was dropping off her child to school and got detained. This literally just happened this morning in East Windsor. So we're trying to work with, you know, schools, security guards, or crossing guards, gas stations, anything that we can think of. We're trying to get really creative to keep our community safe. And for you guys to pass the ITA would just make our lives easier for everybody involved. It would show us that you stand with us. It would show us that you care about immigrants, which is a huge population too. I mean, if you guys want to get reelected again, you're going to need to have a little bit of, you know, good standing with us. So I really hope that you guys are not bored of hearing the same message over and over. I hope it clicks. I hope that you guys are taking something away from this, because it's real people's lives. Like, I'm sure none of you can imagine having your children ripped apart, or your siblings, or your kids, or anything. That's all I have. Thank you.
Once again, anyone who received a number up to 25, please approach the podium. And I don't believe we were up to 30, but I'll ask again. Up to 30? Chair, I believe that ends those wishing to speak.
Thank you. Seeing no one else to speak, I close the public comment session and ask County Manager Oatman to answer any questions
Thank you, Chair, for Resolution 780. It is not a $12 million payment. That is a not to exceed for the life of the contract. This is a $6,750 change order or increase. And for the Wiener Law Group, the increase is because they have taken on more cases for us. Thank you.
Council Bergen?
Thank you, Chair. I want to respond to Mr. Santos and advise him that what he stated is wrong. Mr. Oldman was in fact just doing his job by enforcing the bylaws of this board, which were enacted in January, and which he and I assist the board in enforcing. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2025-777 through 2025-852?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
It was moved by Commissioner Mirabella and seconded by Commissioner Palmieri Muedad. Clerk of the board, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Baker.
Aye.
Commissioner Dellisfort.
Aye.
Commissioner Granados.
Abstain on 2025-789. Aye to the rest.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Mirabella.
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Muedad.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Bodek.
Aye.
And Chairwoman Leone.
Aye.
Let the record reflect you have 9 votes in the affirmative on all resolutions, with the exception of Resolution 2025-789, where you have 8 commissioners voting in favor with 1 abstention.
Thank you. At this time, I will call upon my colleagues, and I will start with Commissioner Baker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Union County Board of County Commissioners invites residents to join us in celebrating Dawi, the Festival of Lights, on Friday, October 24th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Trailside Nature and Science Center in Mountainside. This event will feature Rangoli art, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Daya, lighting, and vibrant dance performances honoring the spirit, the culture, color, and community that Dawi represents. We welcome everyone to come together as we celebrate light, hope, and togetherness here in Union County. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Chairwoman. We would like to announce the final recycling events of the 2025 season. Residents are invited to take part in the last scrap metal recycling drop-offs on Thursday, November 6th, and Saturday, November 15th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., rain or shine. These events are free and open to all Union County residents. You can drop off your scrap metal at 2 convenient locations. One is in Cranford at the Emergency Services Building, 151 Kenilworth Boulevard. The other is in Rahway at Rahway River Park, the service yard across from the swimming pool. Accepted items include refrigerators with doors removed, appliances, bicycles, metal cabinets, air conditioners, and other metal goods. The 2026 recycling schedule will be released by January 1st and will be available online at ucnj.org/recycling. All Union County recycling events are drive-up only and contact-free and are held again, rain or shine. For additional information, residents can call 908-654-9890 or again visit ucnj.org/recycle. I did have one other comment to make. I want to thank everyone who came out here for the ITA You know, it's a courageous thing that you all are doing, and I really appreciate it, especially you street fighters who are going out every day, honking your horns, making sure that folks know who is around to harm them. I would say as well that going back a few weeks, that acknowledging the death of a racist POS, purveyor of slime, how about that, is not the same as celebrating a death. The idea of, oh no, anyway, is another version of thoughts and prayers. We see that nothing has been done to stem gun violence and to bring about sensible gun control. So my comments then stand. And I do want to thank everyone who attended No King's Day with over 7 million other American patriots and our immigrant brothers and sisters to really bring home the point that we do live in a republic, an elected government, and we don't believe in kings. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairwoman.
Commissioner Palmieri Mudet.
Thank you, Chair. As Halloween fades into fall, Union County residents are invited to give their jack-o'-lanterns a glowing farewell at one of our most popular traditions, the Great Pumpkin Sale, which will take place on Saturday, November 1st at Echo Lake Park in Mountainside. If you have been to this event, you know that it is a wonderful event to close out the Halloween season, and it's fun to watch all of the carved pumpkins lit up for one last time and put out onto the water. So there are sessions available 5:15 to 6:30, 6:45 to 8 p.m., 8:15 to 9:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale at ucnj.org/tickets and must be purchased in advance. No tickets will be sold on site. And in case of rain, the pumpkin sale will be held on Sunday, November 2nd. For more details, you can visit our website at ucnj.org. And I would just also like to thank everyone who came to speak tonight. As I like to say, I speak on behalf of myself, but I believe I speak on behalf of my colleagues as well. We do listen to what all of you have to say every time we have people come to speak to us and to voice your concerns. It's your right, and we want to hear from you. And I think that, I hope that you have confidence in us that we do our best to do the right thing. And again, it takes a lot of courage to get up to a microphone. I know it's not something that people do on a daily basis, so it's always, in my eyes, appreciated that you come out, regardless of what you are speaking on. So with that, I will close.
Thank you. Commissioner Granados.
Thank you, Chair. I wrote some comments down. I just want to first take a moment to thank the members of Win the Spirit, Resistencia, Make the Road New Jersey, and Carol Murillo, too, for their hard work, and every community member who took the time to be here tonight. Your presence and your voices remind us of why we serve, to represent every single resident of Union County. As a first-generation American, I know firsthand how much immigrant families contribute to the strength and heart of our communities. The Immigrant Trust Act is about ensuring that every person, regardless of immigration status, can feel safe seeking help, reporting a crime, or accessing services without fear. This board's support for this resolution reflects our belief that trust makes our community stronger, not weaker, and that compassion and justice go hand in hand. To all those advocating for this important legislation, thank you for standing up, for organizing, and for reminding us of what unity truly means. Union County will continue to stand alongside our immigrant families and our immigrant communities today and always. Thank you. Si se puede.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to also thank everyone who's come tonight. All of us in this room, I would guess, are either immigrants or descended from immigrants. And I think my colleagues on the board recognize that we must stand together. We all know that there is a lot happening all over the country that we cannot support, and that's why your being here and your being on the street is so important. I want to thank Commissioner Granados and the county manager for making sure the Immigrant Trust Act resolution got onto the agenda today. We'll keep working together, and please stay in touch. That's it for my off the cuff. As far as our official comments, please, moving to a much calmer aspect of Union County, we had artists out in Deserted Village last week painting pictures of the beautiful scenery. Wouldn't it be nice if all of us, all of the immigrants who are here, and the immigrants who have had family members seized, if they could take the time to just go to the woods and take a picture, or draw a picture, paint a picture. So we had some wonderful artists. I encourage you to have a look at that. This display will stay there till November 21st, but it's going to be traveling around. And I also would like to thank everyone who participated in our 4 Centuries weekend, county history. All through the history of Union County and of New Jersey, there have been people who have stood up to oppression, and we have more than 3 dozen houses around the county that preserve a view and signs of what have happened in the past, and so maybe next year, if you didn't make it this year, you can go and visit some of these houses. We do it on the 3rd weekend of every October. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Mirabella.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have just a couple of comments. First, I'd like to announce that the Union County Regional Communications Center in Westfield is hiring for public safety telecommunicators. This position includes paid training, competitive salary, benefits, and opportunity to serve as part of Union County's Emergency Management Communications Team, dispatching police, fire, and EMS. Applicants must have a high school diploma, CPR certification, and a basic telecommunicator certification from a New Jersey recognized training program. To apply, text @dispatch to 908-913-7910 and follow the prompts. For questions, contact Chief Public Safety Communicator Gareth Williams at 908-518-5629 or gwilliams@unioncountyucnj.org. So I appreciate everyone's voice as well coming forward. I agree with Commissioner Kowalski when she mentions that we're all Americans, and unless you're a Native American, we're all immigrants. We're all not Native Americans. And I was very pleased to support the New Jersey Immigrant Trust Act. I thank my colleagues for bringing it forward for the rest of this board. And I'm going to ask the county manager and the clerk to send that to the other 20 counties in New Jersey so that they have an opportunity to see what Union County did. And my hope is that they'll follow our lead and also pass that and encourage the state legislature to act on that. I heard from Mr. Santos earlier this evening, and the fact is, he's put himself in a position to be disruptive. I understand fully that it's silly season and that he has to do what he has to do as the leader of the Republican Party in Union County. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, County Manager Ed Oatman has and will continue to have my 100% support. He leads the day-to-day activities with dignity and professionalism, and I appreciate him every day more than he probably knows. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Dallas Ford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to share an important reminder from the Union County Board of Elections regarding early voting for the 2025 general election. Early in-person voting will take place from Saturday, October 25th through Sunday, November 2nd at 11 locations across Union County. All early voting sites will be open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Any registered Union County voter may cast their ballot at any of these locations by voting machine. Voters using mail-in ballots may return them in one of the 24 secure drop boxes located throughout the county, by mail through the U.S. Postal Service, or by hand delivery to the Board of Elections office in Elizabeth by 8 p.m. on Election Day, Tuesday, November 4th. All drop boxes are monitored by 24-hour surveillance, ADA accessible, and they're open until the close of polls on Election Day. For a full list of early voting locations, drop boxes, and polling sites, please visit ucnj.org/UCBOE. You can also email ucboe@ucnj.org, or you can call 908-527-4123. I want to thank all of you in advance for participating and for making your voices heard in this election season. I'd also like to say thank you all for coming this evening. I am a first-generation Haitian American. I have personally helped plenty members of my family study for the exams and make sure that they pass. And I can't imagine being ripped away from my aunt or my mother or anybody in my family because of ICE. So I want to thank all of you for keeping these stories and these incidents alive, bringing them to our attention so that we'll continue to fight on your behalf. Thank you. And that concludes my report.
Vice Chair Voda.
We are proud to announce that 14 Union County artists have been recognized as award winners in the 59th Annual New Jersey Senior Citizens Art Show. This statewide exhibit features more than 300 original works created by artists ages 60 and older from across New Jersey. 19 Union County seniors advanced to the state show after receiving first place awards at the county level. Among the honorees, Audrey Yankum of Westfield received the distinction of Best in Show for Professional Artist, along with a first place award in the craft category. Other award-winning artists represented communities throughout Union County: Cranford, Scotch Plains, Garwood, Berkeley Heights, Roway, Plainfield, Roselle Park, Westfield, and New Providence. The exposition can be viewed online at njseniorarts.com or in person through November 6th at the Meadow Lakes Senior Living, 300 Meadow Lakes, East Windsor, New Jersey. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The board congratulates all of our talented artists for their creativity, dedication, and outstanding achievements. I also would like to thank everybody that came out. Your emotions and passions made it easy to help vote for resolution number 276. Thank you.
Council Bergen.
Thank you, Chair. No comments tonight.
County Manager Oldman.
No comments, Chair.
Thank you. So I will be the last to make my comments. And before I go into my regular comments, I just want to thank you all. And as an immigrant myself, it just gives me great pride to see your nonstop strength. And I just want to let you know that en la unión está la fuerza y estamos unidos con ustedes. On another note, I just want to say that during this week, I had a very busy week, and I joined Commissioner Granados and Palmieri Mudet, along with our UCIA Director, Dr. B.B. Taylor, and Union College President, Dr. McManaman, to break ground at the new Union County Physical Education Center at the college, Cranford in campus. It's a $30 million project that will create a modern space for fitness, academics, and community. I also had the pleasure of joining Prosecutor Bill Daniel at the Union County Expungement Clinic, which is an important initiative that helps residents take meaningful steps towards a fresh start. And over the weekend, I had the pleasure of visiting several 4th centuries in our weekend sites, and it was a lot of fun. And finally, our board and staff proudly wore pink in recognition of National Mammography Day and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you, everyone. Buenas noches. Thank you for coming. County Clerk, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second?
It was moved by Commissioner Mirabella and seconded by Commissioner Dellisford. All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is now adjourned. Aye. I forgot. Aye.
It says, struggling and creating popular power.
I forgot you spoke.